I'm feeling androgynous today and I'm kind of digging it, especially because it makes me look like the main character in the book that I'm about to discuss right now. Literary geeks, hope you're all having a happy Monday. Rachel, it's Monday. You don't get to gush about books until Tuesday. What are you doing here? See, I'm gonna cheat slightly on today's Ink Slinging Monday because I want to talk about a book, but I want to talk about it not because it's a fantastic book, although it really is. I want to talk to you about it because I think, as a writer, reading this book was a beautiful experience and I feel like I've learned so much. The book that I'm talking about is Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. In a nutshell, this is a fantasy novel that is a story of a story of a story, because it's about this man named Kvothe who has become this grand legend and arcanist, and he's kind of retired now, and so this chronicler is writing down the story of how he became this grand legend being. So throughout this book you get the interludes of the present day when the chronicler stops writing, or someone knocks on the door of the inn that they're staying at, or they get interrupted by a friend, but then you also get the story of how he became who he is then, and you get hints on backstory and who different people are and why he's the way he is. And from a writing standpoint, this book is absolutely gorgeous. Just the way that he weaves backstory together is probably the best I've ever read, and I really think that every writer should at least give this a shot to see the way that he does it. It's also interesting because the way that he writes this is someone telling a story. So you get a slight narrative, but then you also get the scenes as a regular quote-unquote book would be. Plus, throughout Name of the Wind and the sequel, Wise Man's Fear, you start to understand how and why the main character Kvothe got all of these titles and what they mean and the backstory behind them. And there's one that we have not learned about yet, and I really want to know how he got that one freaking name, which is another piece of fantastically writerly advice, because it makes your readers want to read the sequel because they want to know what the heck is going on with that one thing that you haven't revealed yet. The pacing in this is incredible and something that I think people can learn a lot from, just because it is such a long story. It starts when he's a child, so you have to follow a child up into mid-teenagerhood, and there's a lot of stuff that happens within that time frame. So the pacing is just fantastic for this. You learn about pacing for travel, you learn about pacing for training, you learn about pacing for being in school, because the main character's in this university for like an entire book. This one's like 700 and something pages, and the sequel is 1,000 pages. So I have just read about 1,800 pages of this story, and I'm not tired of it. And that by itself shows how much I absolutely love this story and the way that it's being told. Because we were the YA word nerds, and still are, mind you, we are trying to move our channel in a direction that includes more middle grade and more adult books to expand, you know, our reading. And I think this is a fantastic book for people that are used to a YA format but really want to move into adult fiction or adult fantasy, because the main character is young. He's, at the time of all this is happening, like 14 to 16, but then he's also older, like in his late 20s, and he's telling it again. So it's funny, it's sassy, it's hilariously introspective and self-degrading, and there's magic and action and friendship, and it's a really fantastic book, you guys, and everyone can learn a lot from it. It's so hot in here, and I'm just fangirling so hard about this book that I'm like sweating in places I don't want to sweat. So I'm gonna just wrap this up real quick. Join us on Sunday for our live chat at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. We are going to be talking about retellings, our favorite retellings. I'm so freaking excited because I love retellings, and it's gonna be a great chat. I hope to see you guys all there.